This morning, I want to introduce you to one of the neatest people in all of Scripture. Today's biblical fact: there are over 5,000 men identified by name in Scripture. There are fewer than 30 women identified by name. There are quite a few women talked about, most often in a rather disparaging way, but very few are named. You've heard about them. There's the woman who lost the coin and swept the house until she found it. There's the woman who put the widow's mite into the temple collection box. There's that other odious woman that was caught in adultery. That one always gives me some pause. Seems she was caught in adultery all by herself. I do not think that I will go there. And then there's this Canaanite woman without a name who probably did more to further Jesus' career on earth than any other man, woman, or child. I do so wish that she had a name. The same story as this one in Matthew is also found in Mark's Gospels. There are some little differences. Mark has her coming from Syrophoenicia. Matthew has her hailing from Canaan. It doesn't matter. What matters is that she is not Jewish. She is a Gentile, a foreigner, one of the great unwashed outsiders. And that in itself is interesting. When Moses led the children of Israel to the promised land, it wasn't just a matter of jumping over a border and glomming onto a bunch of milk and honey. The Israelites did battle. They fought hard. They took over land that for generations had been the land of other people like the Syrians, the Phoenicians, the Canaanites. The Israelites defeated a whole whack of people before they settled into the land that God had promised to them. And so, here is this Jewish teacher, Jesus, being accosted by this Gentile Canaanite woman. She comes out shouting, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David." By doing that, she acknowledges right off the bat that she sees Jesus as the Jewish Messiah, the Lord, the Son of David, spoken of by the prophets. Now that's a pretty gutsy thing for a Gentile woman to be yelling in the streets. And it's astounding that she should be yelling in the streets at all. Jewish men didn't talk ever to Gentile women, never, except to ridicule them perhaps or to send them packing. So it should come as no surprise that after her first shouting at Jesus, he ignored it completely, not so much as a glance. The Jewish man does not acknowledge the presence of a woman, does not speak to her, especially if she is a Gentile. But even though I know that, my 21st century mind really thinks that Jesus is being downright rude. This woman has a desperate request to put to Jesus, and he ignores her. That's rude. But she doesn't quit. And the disciples, God bless them, want rid of her so much, shouting all over the place, being a nuisance. Did you notice they didn't send her away? They asked Jesus to do that. Chicken or what? Jesus responds to their requests by saying right out loud to them that he was sent only to the children of Israel, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He was having nothing to do with Gentiles. His job wasn't to help any Gentile. This is not news. Jesus says consistently throughout the Gospels that his primary mission was to call the Jews back to God. But this unnamed Canaanite woman isn't having any of that. She kneels before Jesus and says so simply, "Lord, help me." At least he deigns to give some sort of a response to this. "You don't take the children's food and give it to the dogs," says he. The children of Israel, the dogs, the Canaanites, the Gentiles, any and all Gentiles. You don't give Israel's goodies to dirty dogs. This woman is excluded big time because she's a woman, first off, because she's an outsider. She's on the wrong side of a line drawn by geography and by religion and by tradition. Given all that, you'd think she'd take a hike, eh? But oh no. Instead, she makes history. She has every right, I think, to be really ticked off with Jesus. I sort of am. But she's not angry. She shows amazing dignity, remarkable insight, astounding faith. Again, she calls him Lord, Messiah. She says that even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table. Now, really, what does that mean? The dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table. What this woman is saying is that the children and the dogs are all under the same authority, the authority of one master, the authority of God. In saying that, having the guts to say that, she has told Jesus right out that all his distinction between Jew and Gentile, all these lines of tradition and geography and religion just are not going to cut it. She teaches Jesus a lesson that Jesus will never forget. She challenges Jesus, Challenges him to become what he must become. Someone way beyond all the exclusions, the limitations, the traditions, the stipulations, the provisions. And we know that what she said actually sunk in. Not only was her daughter instantly healed, and from a great distance, Jesus, from this time on, called everyone to God, not just the children of Israel. Woman, Jesus said, great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish. She wouldn't give up. She knew that the Lord could be her helper, and he learned so much from her. I really do wish I knew her name. Thanks be to God.